The only minority destroying America is the billionaires. Trans people are 1% of the population. Muslims are 1% of the population. Undocumented people are 1% of the population. We are focused on the wrong 1%. Trans people aren't taking away our health care. Muslims aren't defunding our schools. Immigrants aren't cutting taxes for themselves and their rich friends. It's the billionaires and their puppet politicians. The culture wars are a smokescreen. So many of the divisions in this state and in this country are manufactured by billionaires who want us fighting each other instead of fighting them. They want us looking left and right at our neighbors instead of looking up at them. The biggest divide in our politics is not left versus right, it's top versus bottom.
Talarico visited cities from El Paso all the way to the Rio Grande Valley, and part of his message was on affordability, on creating jobs, on border security, on providing relief from Trump's tariffs to business owners, to taquerias along the border. He spoke to business owners who own taquerias who were having trouble staying in business. So bringing some of that color from the border was also part of the experience there. Now, as you mentioned, Alicia, he drew very large crowds. Some venues were completely overflowed. I joined him in Laredo, and here are some of what his supporters had to say. Take a listen.
I found this sign way back when Beto was running, so I saw it in the ground. I pick it up, put tape on it, and so I'm going to use it in this campaign to get back the blue, to turn Texas blue again.
Do you think Talarico can turn Texas blue?
Pretty sure 100% that he's gonna, 110% he's gonna turn it blue.
And I wanted the whole cowgirl Texas, flipping Texas blue is what we need to do. And the same thing when Ken Paxton called him a freak and Talarico embraced it like the Implorables. Well, you know what? I'm a Talarico, and embrace that and embrace my mentality that we need to turn Texas blue.
That's right.
The biggest divide in our country is not left versus right, it's top versus bottom. Billionaires want us looking left and right at each other so that we're not looking up at them. The people at the top work so hard to keep us angry and divided because our unity is a threat to their wealth and their power. So their social media algorithms and their cable news networks tear us apart. They divide us by party, by race, by gender, by religion, so that we don't notice that they're defunding our schools, gutting our health care, and cutting taxes for themselves and their rich friends. It is the oldest strategy in the world: divide and conquer. But we will not be conquered. We're underdogs in this fight. We're going up against those billionaire mega donors and their puppet politicians. We're going up against a rigged system, and we're going up against a lot of money. But I'm a former middle school teacher. I don't scare easily. And Texans don't scare easily. My granddad was a Baptist preacher in South Texas. He taught me that we follow a barefoot rabbi who gave 2 commandments: love God and love neighbor. Because there is no love of God without love of neighbor. Every single person bears the image of the sacred. Every single person is holy, not just my neighbors who look like me, or pray like me, or vote like me. Those billionaires are trying to keep us from seeing all that we have in common. They're trying to keep us from realizing that there is far more that unites us than divides us. Because once we do, we will come together across party, across race, across gender, across religion, to take power back for ourselves and our communities. 2,000 years ago, when the powerful few rigged the system, that barefoot rabbi walked into the seat of power and flipped over the tables of injustice. To those who love this state, to those who love this country, to those who love our neighbors, it's time to start flipping tables.
There is a backlash to the extremism and the corruption that people are seeing in our government. It includes people who voted for the president in 2024, including a lot of young people across the state of Texas who voted for Donald Trump because they thought he was going to lower costs. They thought he was going to end the forever wars. They thought he was going to release the Epstein files. They thought that he was going to finally put working people first by draining the swamp. And on all counts, he has done the exact opposite. He has raised prices. He has started new forever wars. He has, done his best to keep the Epstein files redacted and hidden, and he has gone further and made the swamp even bigger in Washington, D.C. And so people are feeling disillusioned, and it's incumbent upon me as the Democratic nominee in this race. It's incumbent upon our campaign to try to build a big enough coalition of energized Democratic voters and people who are feeling disillusioned on the other side. That's exactly how we won that state Senate seat in Tarrant County, and I think it's going to be how we win this U.S. Senate seat in Texas in November.
Ken Paxton, the Texas Attorney General and current Republican nominee for U.S. Senate, is running away from accountability, quite literally. Most recently, the scandal-plagued official is accused of listing 3 separate residences as his primary address and using one of those addresses to vote, despite not living there. Paxton claims he's not violated any voting rules, but take a look at what happened when reporters pressed Paxton on that.
Can we keep this to law enforcement today?
Well, I'm giving you the opportunity to answer that question.
I'd like to, we're here with the sheriffs, I'd like to keep today to law enforcement.
I have a question.
We're going to get out of here. Thank you, guys.
I have a question.
Yeah, we're going to get out of here. Thank you.
Can we not have more than one person answer a question?
So he's shown, I will tell you, he's shown himself to be unfit to serve in the office he seeks. Because if you, as a candidate, I don't care what state you are, Texas, Maine, Wisconsin, doesn't matter. When you put your name out there, if you can't stand there and answer a damn question, number one. Number two, but if you certainly can't address the fact that you're registered to vote in 3 different places.
That's giving voter fraud.
Thank you.
It's given we need an investigation from the government. I toppled over laughing because there's multiple things wrong here. But to be clear, like we can list all the scandals. Grand jury indicts Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton on felony charges. And that was in August 2015. There's a headline from December 2010. FBI subpoenas Ken Paxton for alleged bribery reports. From May 2022, Texas State Bar files professional misconduct lawsuit against Ken Paxton for his attempt to overturn the 2020 presidential elections. There's a headline from August 2023. These headlines go all the way up to July 7th, 2026.
Quite a graphic.
The graphic is long, y'all. We're going to put it up on the internet for you guys. As a former comms person, I'm falling over because, girl, what was y'all doing in the briefing? In what universe do you allow the candidate to go out there? Does the candidate himself go out there? But do you allow the candidate to go out there unprepared to have even one answer? He looked during the headlights. The people behind him looked stunned, like, oh, they really asking about this? And she said, that's enough, and ushered him out.
Well, that's bad comms.
It's bad comms, and it's cowardice. And honestly, if I'm the Democrats, put it in an ad, babe. Put it in an ad.
When you have a candidate that can't answer the questions, is uncomfortable by the reality of the questions, of course you're going to run. This person is running for a 6-year term. And to Michael's point, I don't care what you're running for. It's the same reason why I bemoan the fact that we don't have enough town halls to cover. Because folks are afraid of going and confronting and having conversations with their constituencies. And if you're Ken Paxton, you're running to represent the state of Texas, and there's frankly a lot of questions. Now, 15 properties, at least, that he has worth $9 million. That's okay, but where are those properties?
Where are those properties? How are you claiming them? Which one is your primary residence? Apparently you have 3. I don't know how you do that. But the reality of it is, look, Ken Paxton has gotten away with this in Texas. And
For years.
And it's now finally coming home.
So, folks, Paxton is taking an absolute walloping. He's literally and figuratively running away from the media as Talarico shellacks him in Texas. Right now, the Republicans are losing in Texas, and they're losing in a couple ways. One, the contest is much closer than anyone expected. No one was expecting a close race in this state back when Trump took office. Everyone looked, as soon as, because the United States is perpetual elections, right? There's never not elections in the United States, right? And so as soon as that election was done, even before Trump came to office, everyone looked to 2028, the midterms, and they said, 2026, the midterms, and said, okay, the House will probably flip to the Democrats because it's so close. The House almost always flips when the ruling party only has a small margin, right? But the Senate's going to be really tough. No one was giving the Democrats a chance in the Senate because if you looked at races like this, no one was giving them a chance. And now they have one. And I've said this before, and I'll keep on saying it. Talarico has already won by making this race competitive. This is a team sport. It used to be that you could argue that candidates were running solely on their own and that the national political environment didn't exist. People would vote weird. They would vote Republicans like locally and then Democratic for the presidency and vice versa, and national parties didn't really exist. That model died out like 40 years ago, but it's especially gone now. People vote as it's a national team sport. And Talarico running a competitive race hurts the GOP. By him running a competitive race, the Republicans cannot take the Texas Senate seat for granted. They must invest the time, labor, and money to win this seat. They have to invest it. They have to invest millions. They have to send their top staff down there. They have to send all the political operatives down there to save that seat as Talarico runs a competitive race. And I guarantee you, at least one Democratic seat somewhere else in the country, even if Talarico doesn't flip this seat, it will flip at least one other seat in the country because of that resource shift.